All right, well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to talk about the grant, the resources that are available to answer your questions and support you. Please make note we will not have a Zoom tomorrow, which would be Thursday, December 4th, due to travel. What I ask everyone to do as you come in this morning is go ahead, if you're listening live, go ahead and type into the Q&A, the question and answer box. It's like a chat box of Zoom. What is it that you want to get out of today's session? Because each of you are busy, you're successful. There's a lot of other things that you could be doing right now. I'm very appreciative that you're here with us live, but I want to make sure that what we're covering is meeting what you need. Now, primarily, we get together each morning to support two different types of people. We have those individuals that are looking for funding to start or grow a business. And so we're going to cover what they need to know, how the grant works, and how to access the grant. And then, secondly, there are some of you that are looking to be a referral partner, a distribution partner. And we're going to also cover how simple it is to do that. But let's go ahead and use our two documents that are shared. On the left-hand side, we kind of have the speaking notes, the outline. On the right-hand side, we actually have our website, 509pacific.org, pulled up. 509pacific.org is the go-to resource, whether you're like Harold and interested in the quick cash program, if you're looking to get a free shelf corp, which we'll talk about, it's here. If you're looking for a free funding proposal, it's on the home page. And even if you're looking at becoming an affiliate, everything is here. But let's go ahead and use our notes on the left to guide us through today's discussion. So today is, again, Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. We won't be together tomorrow, but we get together most weekday mornings to talk about these grant resources. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We applied for, received a grant. We administer the grant. There are three mandates. Number one, we're responsible for helping improve financial literacy, and that's a big deal. A lot of people, they don't know what you know. Most people, or at least many people, want money. They need money to start or grow a business, but they don't have a fundable business. A lot of times they don't even understand what that means or what it takes. So, for those of you that are distribution partners, your role in helping us improve financial literacy is vitally important. We give away free shelf corps, and we'll talk about that. That's here in the middle of the page. Why would we do that? Well, if someone's looking for business funding, you need to have a fundable business. You can't skip that step. A lot of people, again, they don't know what you know and I know, and they don't have a fundable business. So they have a significant barrier to accomplishing their goals. Well, we're going to overcome that by providing them the free shelf corps, which we'll talk about here in the middle of the page. And then ultimately, we want to use that new knowledge and those shelf corps to go get funding. Because where the rubber hits the road is, are we helping clients get funding so they can start or grow a business, so they can hire employees if they want, they can pay taxes if they need to, they strengthen the community. So that's the end goal. So, with that being said, let's talk about the free shelf corps. And our new approach is we're actually giving away the shelf corp and paying people, literally paying people to participate in the grant. So, the question for you is, do you know anyone that's looking for money for funding to start or grow a business? I'm going to pause there for a moment. So, we have 519 of you on right now live. Can you answer just yes or no in the Q&A box? Do you know anyone? I'm not asking for names and numbers, but do you know of anyone that's looking for money to start or grow a business? Give you a moment to respond in the Q&A. It's like a chat box. Do you think that this is a problem that needs to be solved, that there's a lot of people that want money, that need money, that don't have it? Or do you think, no, that's not really an issue? Everyone's getting the money they need to reach their potential. And as Harold mentioned, I think most of us would agree there are a lot of people that need capital to start or grow a business. But what we need to do is build their financial literacy, Make sure that they have a fundable business entity and then work with them to get that funding. So what you and I do, assuming that you're a distribution partner, what you and I do is incredibly important in changing people's lives. So with that, here in the middle of the page on 509pacific.org is where someone can come get a free shelf corp. So let's see what it says here on the website. It states through a new grant, you can receive a free shelf corp to qualify for business funding, and we will pay you $1,000 to participate. And that's a true statement. We'll describe that more as we go along. Our 501c3 nonprofit was awarded a grant to provide subsidized fundable shelf corporations so participants can qualify for business funding and financing. There is a processing fee. There is a processing fee because our attorneys need to transfer ownership of the shelf corp, and then we're also transferring collateral. Collateral is what's called one of the three C's: credit, collateral, capacity, to get funding. So there is a one-time nominal processing fee, but in exchange for that, the client's getting the shelf corp and the collateral. Let's talk more about the shelf corp. So the shelf corp includes the business entity that's in the client's name. It's clean, has no liens, has no obligations against it, so it's clean. Secondly, we provide a business plan. You might say, well, that doesn't seem that big of a deal. All right, I can go on AI and go develop a business plan. Sure, you can. Just a lot of the folks we work with, they don't want to spend time or energy on these administrative steps. So we provide a business plan that's ready to go. If they want us to change it or edit it or replace it, we can, but it comes kind of like a business in a box. Similarly, with number three, most lenders are going to want to see financials. They're going to want to see the financials of the business. It's very hard to get um, large funding offers or acceptances without financials. We provide that. We do need a unique commercial address for the business to show that it's credible, and we provide that. And then, as I mentioned, we provide collateral. So it takes us about 7 days to deliver to the client from the time the client slash grant participant from the time they enroll. But within normally a week, we can get them the shelf corp and the $1,000 quick cash. So that describes what's included, how to participate, crazy simple, 509pacific.org. And right here it says click here for the grant packet. They click on it and it literally pops up. They're able to review it, complete it, and literally we're normally within 7 days of having those deliverables to the client. So let me pause there. Anyone have questions specifically on this area here where we're talking about the free shelf corp, the collateral, what's included? Anyone have questions on it? Okay. And I think it's meant to be very clear and very simple and easily understood. Obviously, the key is to go to 509pacific.org, click here, and review the information. But it's essentially just elaborating on what we just went through together. Okay, so then that takes us to the next part, which is understanding how the free funding proposals work. So if you're an affiliate, a distribution partner of ours, you might find that some people need a shelf corp, but you might also find that other people, they already have a business. They don't need a shelf corp from us. So we're going to use their business, or they've gotten a shelf corp and now we're into what we call phase two, the funding proposal. So let's talk more about it. Again, it's at the bottom of 509 Pacific. So people could start with a shelf corp and then go to a funding proposal, or they could skip the shelf corp and we can go right into the funding proposal. So let's see what it says about that on the website. Do you need funding to start or grow a business? Request a free funding proposal here to see what you qualify for. And there's a link. It's a simple one-page app. The top half asks for business information if it's available. It's optional because some people, they don't have this yet. And the bottom half is what we would call business owner or key person information. It's a simple one pager, no hard inquiries to get offers, no minimum credit scores. Everyone gets at least one offer. It's a great place to go if what the prospect is wanting to do is to get funding right now. So conversely, if they first want a shelf corp, we would start here in the middle of the page. But if they don't want that or don't need that, then we can go right into the funding proposal. So, what are some of the highlights of the free funding proposal? As I mentioned before, we have what happens is when they fill that out, we put that into our lender match software and we come up with the lender matches. And so, depending upon their application, we'll determine which offers they get and how big they are. Everyone gets at least one offer. Some of the some of the options don't care about credit at all. Some do. So you don't, if you're a distribution partner, you really don't have to spend time, effort, or energy trying to pre-qualify people. Everyone's welcome to participate. Everyone will get at least one offer. There's absolutely no upfront cost for the free funding proposal. No upfront cost. People like that. No hard inquiries to get offers, I mentioned a moment ago. Some people say, "Oh, well, how long does the business have to be open?" Well, actually, not at all, because what I've mentioned is any of these fields on the top can be left blank if they're not available, not applicable. Someone could leave the top completely blank, and we could still get funding offers. As far as how much will we get from that, we call that the first tranche. How much will we get from the first tranche? I don't know. We're have to run it through the lender match software and see what each grant participant gets. We've had many people that have gotten offers for 100,000, 250,000, or even above 500,000. But I'm not making some blanket promise. We don't know until we run the application. If you want to see some success stories, you can about other people that have participated in their offers, it's down below, which we're not quite to yet. But with the offers, the participants don't have to take any offers they don't want. They can pick the ones they want, decline those that they don't. Sometimes I suspect, I know sometimes we run into people that have not managed their personal credit very well, so they're really concerned about that. Well, the free funding proposal, the way it's set up under the grant is again, everyone's going to get at least one offer. So even if they have horrible credit, it's still going to work for them. And then secondly, we're able to allocate some grant money to a legal team that will work with the client to improve their personal credit. We call it a credit sweep. So in other words, they get a free credit sweep if needed. So those are the free funding proposal highlights as far as how to get it. It's either this first link here or it's down below, but we'll just leave it with this. It's going to pull up a page and it's crazy simple. Crazy simple. It'll take 3 minutes to complete. All right, so some resources that we need everyone to know, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So again, we have this training here, which is very helpful. It talks about success stories and explains the process further. Recommend, but don't require that everyone look at it. And it's an on-demand YouTube video. To get a free funding proposal, this link is actually the same as this one. So it'll bring up the same app either way. If you're wanting to be a distribution partner, we ask that you start as an affiliate. It's free to be an affiliate. And let's get over here and talk about the 3-step process to become an affiliate. Very simple, very transparent. So as an affiliate, you're paid 5% of each referred participant's capital raise, which is above market, I believe. Uh, I think market rate is probably a fraction of that. But the bottom line is, let's say that you refer in a client and they get 100,000, then you get $5,000 as your affiliate commission. Let's say they come in and they get $1 million, which is more similar to our average, then you're getting 50,000. It's 5% of whatever the client's slash grant participants capital raise is. Is it get rich quick? No. Is it MLM? No. Is it Ponzi? No. Do you have to buy anything? No. Do you have to pay anything? No. So you can see that. And again, The agreement's right here. You click on it and you can get set up as an affiliate. And then if we scroll to the bottom, my mouse would work a little bit better. I'm not sure why it's not working. Oh, it's not working correctly for some reason. But if it were working correctly, we would be able to show you. Anyway, at the bottom are the commission. The very last page talks about the commissions, and the commissions matches what we just said, the 5%. So no strings attached. Okay, so if we want to be an affiliate, we need to go to 509 Pacific, click on that. I'm sure it'll work for you. I've got too many windows open right now. Now, the question we commonly get is, okay, great, I'm an affiliate. What happens? Well, we'll send an onboarding email. So all of you that I think we've had like 600 or so people sign up so far to the affiliate program. So all of you, to the best of my knowledge, have received an email, kind of a onboarding. It's real simple. There's not a lot you need to know. You need to know how to refer in clients. So for the first client that you're going to submit, we're going to give you a temporary link. And so you'll use that for the first one. And then once you've referred in your first grant participant, then some other things are going to happen. At that point, we need to start paying you commissions. So we're going to send you a form that is combined W-9 and direct deposit form. So you'll get that from us so we know where to pay you. And then after you've submitted your first deal, then you're going to get your own landing page. And that way you can market more efficiently. So you're going to use the landing page that we provide for the first one. And then after the first one, we get you set up because now you're starting to earn money. We know you're serious. You get the W-9 direct deposit form and you get your own landing page. I see that Matthew's asking, is there any cost for the landing page now or never? No, no, no. Okay, so we've covered quite a bit. We've covered, I guess, an introduction about us. We've covered we didn't go into the quick cash too much, but if you want more familiarity on the quick cash, as Harold mentioned, 509 Pacific, there's the on-demand training there, and it's real easy to participate. It's very straightforward. But as far as getting the free shelf corps and getting paid the $1,000 to participate in the grant, that's here in the middle. We've covered it, I think, pretty well. You know how to take action on that if you wish to. And then we talked about the free funding proposal, where to get it, the benefits. And then if you wanted, lastly, if you wanted to be an affiliate, a distribution partner, what you can do um, to become one. All right, so Mr. Stoner asked questions. What happens to the offer after the 5th? I apologize. I don't know what question you're asking. Maybe you could ask it differently, Mr. Stoner, and I can do a better job of answering it for you. Bilal asked a good question about liquidation. So that's a bit of an advanced topic, but let's go ahead and cover it. So, what do we know when it comes to funding? There are the three C's: credit, mainly business credit, collateral, and capacity. We include collateral with the free shelf corp. And then if a client needs more, grant participant needs more, we can get them more collateral. But they're getting some collateral automatically. And so we get that to them normally in about 7 days after enrollment. And then, with that being said, if they want us to, which is Bilal's question, I believe, we can liquidate the AR. And with liquidating the AR, that means that our legal team, we're bonded, licensed, and insured as a collection agency. So we can go collect that AR that's owed to the client, owed to the grant participant, and then turn that into cash. And so we have a whole department now that's focused specifically on that. And that's an attorney, a lawyer ran department. So that's a bit of an advanced topic, but wanted to at least explain, I think, what Bilal is asking. All right. Let's See what else other questions there are. I think we've covered most of these. I guess Mr. Stoner was asking about the offer. So yes, everything that I've described, I believe is permanent. In other words, the quick cash isn't going anywhere. It'll continue to be available. To the best of my knowledge, the free shelf corps, the $1,000 to participate, that'll continue to be available going forward. And then the free funding proposal as well as the affiliate. So I don't think that any of these items have some specific expiration date that I'm aware of, at least. All right. Any other questions? Anything else that anyone needs to know before we break off for today? Again, due to travel tomorrow, we will not have a Zoom tomorrow on Thursday. We'll be back on Friday. But it's all about what can we do to help you accomplish your goals? Is your goal to get funding to start or grow a business? Well, here's how to do it. Do you realize that you need a shelf corp? You want to participate in that? Here's where you do it. You want to get paid an adult income for helping other people without any investment, without any nonsense, really without much effort. Become an affiliate. You can do that for free here. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you back Friday morning, 8 o'clock Central. Our phone number is here if you need anything. Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye bye.